trauma, and just what's in reality. So that's what we're gonna talk about. I am just a regular person, a professional organizer.
He's being modest.
Entrepreneur.
Yes.
Father, husband. And so I'm just a regular guy that's looking to do things that highly impact people that are impacted in negative ways in our city by whether that's the powers that be, government, or big business that rape us of our time and effort and sweat and hard work and equity for pennies. So it's a little bit of who and what I do.
Okay, if regular and extraordinary is the same thing, then we'll go with that for the right now. Yes, ma'am. But let's get into it. Putt Putt. Man, I mean, okay, one of my kids, she what you said. One of my kids, she was there, but she was like, her friends was like, they was gonna leave her, so she didn't try to get her refund. But that was the thing. She was like, they pretty much cut the day short and didn't want to give the kids a refund. And so the kids did what kids who run on raw emotion do. They got crunk and Putt Putt.
Right. So something just struck me then. So you had a relative that was there that decided not even want to get their money back because
one of my employees, yes. Yeah, she was telling me about it, yeah.
And so what's sad about that is how often so-called black people have been done like that and they just go with it. I take this loss not to cause any trouble because I know even if I want to stand up for what's rightfully mine, I'm already in the wrong.
Boom.
That's some generational oppression shit that I just can't stand for. I hate that she had to make that decision of not standing her own right. So Putt Putt took it upon themselves to take the power away from children at their time.
They did.
And so what I saw, so a lot of people saw destruction and chaos. And so what I saw is a language that was being used. Just like and my guy Antonio who's sitting here next to Antonio, we both have infant children. And one of the languages you learn about your child is the different cries they make when they want something different, when they're hungry, when they want to, when they need to change the diaper, when they want to play, when there's different languages that we learn. Right now, what we use is the Latin and Greek language to try to put some words, American English together, and this is how a lot of people converse or dialogue.
Right.
What I saw was a language from people that hadn't been heard or listened to over and over and over. So it's like, if you're not gonna listen, you don't want to listen because I'm too young, here's another language. I'll slap you in your face. You don't listen to that, right?
Everybody was listening. TMZ, everybody was listening then.
And again, that's something that's taught to us. Because you know how folks said, well, my mom, I'd be too scared. My mama beat my tail. That's what's wrong. You was abused by your parents.
What you said.
So you turn around and say, well, I beat my son the same. Guess what? Your son gonna go out there and go beat some other child the same too, because you abusing him. And he can't hit mama back.
Right.
And so what I see is a language that's being discussed. And what happened was those children knowing, man, we have a generation that don't really protect us. So we're going to protect ourselves. So now people mad that they want to protect themselves in the way they see fit. I for one, don't see anything wrong. Putt Putt has insurance. Get it fixed. File a claim.
Yeah.
But y'all don't listen to these babies. They don't have insurance on their feelings being suppressed. They don't have insurance on it. And nobody coming to the hood saying, hey, let's put some therapists out here and listen to these children.
Damn.
What do y'all want?
Boom.
And what's crazy is I sent a message to my little guy, Deuce, this earlier, and was like, hey, bro, I want to get you involved in something. Because I'm about organizing shit. I'm not just going to sit up and talk.
This what we looking for.
And so touching people like, I got the business community, somewhere where I can reach up to them. But we need a youth summit where we can listen to them and their ideals and take this money. I don't mind. I go around and we shake the whole city down for them.
Let's go.
What they need and what they want.
I love it.
But we need to listen to them. This daytime. I'm kind of phasing out of folks needing to listen to me.
Right.
These children know what they need and want. How about we create ways for them to get that? Just like some of these folks had ways created for them to get what they have. And so I'm willing to put it all on the line for them because I hear the language and I understand that language. And I, for one, stand with them regardless.
I'm with you. I recognize that cry for help because I did youth ministry for 10 years and I did it in Sherwood Middle School and Melrose High School. And so I recognize that anger and that cry for help, like we want to be heard. And that's what I saw. I didn't see, look at them badass kids. That's what everybody, I saw that baby got anger issues. That's straight up suppression. Yeah. And she just needed a release right then and there.
And so what I did see is she has a supportive father. I didn't see anything from the mom, but I saw people showing up stuff about what her father said.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's one institution that's supporting her.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Where are the other institutions in life that hadn't been supporting not just that baby, but all of us that look like that's relative to me?
Exactly.
Schools, they don't give a damn. That's an institution that betrayed us. They're not listening
at all.
Church, don't care. That's another institution that don't listen because again, a lot of it is about ageism. They look at the youth and say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, you just grow a little bit. Just wait till you get a little older, my age. And okay, if I wait to get to your age for you to listen to me, I won't be able to hear you."
Exactly. Exactly.
You might not be here. So why keep suppressing the children in the ways that they're speaking? Learn their language and meet them. I don't expect them to learn language and just try to come figure out how to get on TNT level or Keedran level. No, I have the capacity to be able to meet them where they are. And then show them, hey, well, this is what I've done. I come from the streets. It ain't nobody in the city that can't say, dude ain't stamped or can't go nowhere in the city and do what he want to do on his own. Ain't nobody to vouch for what I can do in this city or what I've done in this city or who I am in this city or across the country for that fact. And so to show the children, hey, this is where I come from, this is what we can do. Take some disruption.
Yeah.
Any business areas that have ever been created, it came from some sort of disruption. And so, okay, show children, oh, that's a step in business. Let me show you the other steps. Here goes some reform.
Boom.
You know, here goes some tangible pieces where we say, oh, put together intellectual properties. Okay, let's figure out how to market this. Okay, now you got a job. You got 300 of your friends. Man, them children was able to organize 300 of them to come to Putt Putt. Imagine what they could do if they say, hey, let's get all this, we got 300 of us, let's put it in the bank account. We're going to buy us 11 acres of land. We're going to create our own Putt Putt. We don't know poo-poo.
What you said, I love it. Yeah, they get it.
Doing it. So while y'all criticize some children who can out-organize some of you silly fools.
What you said, look.
Them children got it.
They got it.
How you help cultivate what they have instead of trying to down them. Like, and that's what I don't get. And what I do get is, I see the trauma in people talking down on them. You know what I'm saying? I see some people who are afraid. They might have been ripped off all these years and you stood up like these children. Because you play with me, I'm going to turn it up for free.
What you said.
I promise. Real story. Canvas right there at Evergreen in Madison.
I know it.
Sucker. One of their customers blocked me in somewhere. And so I realized, oh, this is somewhere at your store. I go in and catch over Rob. Hey, man, one of your customers got me blocked in. He's like, all right, I'm going to find out. He just brushed me off. Got about 10 minutes. Hey, dude, you know, I need to get home. Y'all, this show stop. You can either get the DJ, cut the music. Hey, who truck is this? Get the tag number, go move your stuff. Here's the solution.
That's the solution.
Man, brush me off. You know what I did? I want to go start snatching all the DJs shit out the wall. I bet you gonna listen now. I'll tell some shit up for free if you disrespect me. I don't care who it is.
What you said?
You ain't gotta be no $2, no $4. I'm gonna tear it up for free. You disrespect me. You
right.
Play.
Look, say less. What?
And this for sure. Rob can vouch for that. I about told everything about the wall. Oh.
I bet they. Look, hold on. Did they call that car number in? Look. Was it a green Ford 95?
Hey, I bet you that some act right came then.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And so
I honor those children for taking matters into the hands that they felt they needed to. Because what's gonna happen when I call Mama? Mama gonna come up there and now Mama won't listen to the story and all. This what happened, Mama. Listen and trust black youth when they say something.
Yeah.
And that's why I stand on it.
Yeah, I stand with you. How you stand over there? Come on now, introduce yourself to the folks. Come on, we got you in the studio now.
Antonio, also do some organizing around the city. But
he being modest too. What's up with y'all? Extraordinary black men in the studio, modest. You gotta love it though.
I also stand with the youth for what happened at Putt Putt. As Keedran called it, Putt Putt. Cause I just didn't understand. Like, you took their funds and then you turn around and tell them like, hey, we're not gonna give you a refund. After you took my funds, you turn around and tell you you're not gonna give me a refund.
That's robbery.
That's robbery. Without a gun.
That's robbery. Legally robbed. They was legally robbed.
Yeah.
And I also feel their anger and frustration. You know, when kids go through things at home, you know, they tend to tear up something. Whether it's the joystick, whether it's, you know, breaking a disc at home or something, they go through a lot of trauma. You know, when you take away things from you, what you expect them to do?
Mm-hmm.
When you take away Liberty Land, when you take away the fair, when you take away all these things, when you take away Crystal Palace, like everybody used to go to Crystal Palace.
Come on now, even
like
just to sit in the parking lot at Crystal Palace,
you take away all these things for them to do, and then, you know, it's challenges. Come on, the internet, the media, it's challenges created all the time. Every day is a challenge being created around the country. But once again, if you can get 300 to 400 youth to organize,
come on, man.
What you think they can do if they really
come on, man?
Like, you talk about the bridge and the things that we did. Like, just imagine if they was just really, really seriously, how many people they really can, you know, organize and turn out. So,
because that was awesome.
I was like, definitely was awesome. You know, everybody got dropped off. You know, they started to fly. You know, drop me off, mama.
What you saying?
Mama dropping everybody off.
Everybody
getting dropped
get out
off.
the car, kids. Yeah.
So that's you know, bro.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Welcome to the conversation. Yes, ma'am.
And there's also something to think about is a few things. People needing breaks. And so there's risk, quite naturally. So I saw a lot of people saying, well, it's a pandemic and you shouldn't be out there. And so in life there are risks that we take. And so sometimes, like, it was crazy is my oldest nephew had his 17, you know, he turned 17 a couple weeks ago, and a couple of his friends were like, man, we're gonna go to Putt Putt golf. His mama was against it. She's like, no, pandemic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the same time, and I was like, well, let him go. I can't override what his mama say. That's his mama. You know, that's my baby. So I can fight for him like a lawyer, but mama the judge.
Yeah.
And I got where she was coming from. Most definitely, I understand that. And I also have to think about my nephew, very talented baseball player. He didn't get to play, you know, his teammates, they were just discussing like, man, we didn't get to play this last season. My nephew to start pitcher, you know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff, he want to build his criteria up, you know, so he can go on further. So to him, it's like, oh, that's a blow to that. But so he picked up a job, started saving some money, you know, buy him a car.
I love it.
So for me, it's like he's doing these things and still stay in the house. They need some type of release. And so the risk for me, as long as you know about touching things, being safe, the risk for me is worth it. I'm not saying he's going to go out and catch COVID, because I put on a training with 400, 500 people, and all the people who organized that training came back negative, you know what I'm saying? So there's ways to be in crowds and not catch the transmission.
Right.
You just have to be safe about what you're doing and how you're doing it. So, and my nephew like Monk. He don't like germs, so he ain't really touching nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
like Mom.
He already like, he's looking at stuff like, give me some tweezers, you know what I'm saying? So,
good,
So I trusted him enough to know that he gonna stay safe as possible. And I understand the risk of, man, you keep children cooped up. You got men doing stints in town who kill themselves for being in jail.
Yeah.
And so this is like jail in a sense. That's why some parents need their release. And so I get it. And so what I was saying was I hit up my guy Duke Deuce about figuring out ways how we could create these youth summits because artists need to hear from people who look up to them.
Yes.
And artists have this way where they could help guide children through a process where they can kind of not be afraid to release some of this, because again, them coming talking to people my age, you know, about what's really going on in them. It's like talking to their mom and dad, but they
Yeah.
can talk to somebody who's a step, that generation between me and them, about something, someone who they already see in this light. They're artists, you know, they perform, and some of them want to be artists. So it makes sense to figure out these containers where children can talk and get this shit off. Something we did with Oak Haven Middle School for a couple years when Rod was the principal over there with Shahida Jones and Black Lives Matter.
Shout out.
Shout out to Shade, my sister.
Yeah,
And
no.
so we had these spaces where from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Every first Friday, we have they 7th and 8th graders all in the cafeteria, broke off into sections where they can just talk stuff out. And you never know how what goes on and how that helps. You know, for them just to be able to just get whatever out.
Yeah.
You know, in those type of spaces we need, but they don't have to be boring. They don't have to seem so therapeutic. Where
Right.
I'm going to see a shrink and I'm
Exactly.
crazy because I'm going to see this shrink. So, you know, I'm thinking hard on it. There was a few years ago we was doing like free skate challenges, free paint challenges, you know, these free challenges. So now it's like, what do we do to be able to be safe during this pandemic and still give the children freedom to do some things that they just probably need to do and stretch out.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And it's saddening to see people toss them away like collateral. People, this shame that people say, "Oh, I'm ashamed of them." No, you're really ashamed of yourself.
Come on now.
So it's sad to see that, and at the same sense, people say, "Well, it takes a village, and we have to be responsible." But you being responsible, don't mean you just have to talk about. You have to talk about the negative about what's going on. You know, and we can break down the word responsibility, and you really don't know what the hell you're doing when you say you have to be responsible for these because you're scared of them.
Point
You ain't
blank,
gonna help
period.
somebody you're afraid of.
Not at all.
You got the image of what the news puts out about so-called black people being monsters and angry and villains and thugs and demons, and y'all afraid of people that really want the love from you. It's you know. So for me, it's funny because I hadn't been called the unk yet, you know, but you know, these little guys like when I'm around. And
I didn't got auntie. I ain't got
unk yet.
I didn't got auntie.
They hit me with the OG.
Yeah.
They hit me with unk yet.
Look,
So,
I'm welcoming it.
you know, OG when
welcome
you like 25, 26.
Yeah.
So I'm still, you know.
So yeah, you still got
Hit me
the
with the unk yet.
you still got the juice, as they say. I'm like that when they be like, we don't know yet, but
I
yeah.
ain't hit me with the unk yet, so I'm proud of that. That means I can still dialogue with them, you know.
So what do you think? I was talking with a friend, and he was saying that they want Memphis to be like a retirement city, which is why they closed down things like Liberty Land. We no longer like when you had Adventure River, like the fair. We don't have any of these things, but they're building up like communities with townhomes and things because they want a retirement community. But what they're doing is with the education system, they're kind of streamlining the kids into the prison, or the kids are going to leave the city, or they're going to go work for warehouses, making other people rich. So what can we do as a community to light a fire under? Because we really don't have to light a fire under them. We really kind of just need them to help. Well, we don't even have to help them organize, but kind of have a space, like you said, for them to release, but also to create and to make money. Because because that's what I feel like. If you put them in a space where they can create and make money with what they're bringing to the marketplace, that's where I feel like the kids are going to be like, okay, yeah. I can do this. I can have my own business. I can be a millionaire by the time I'm 25, 20. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want them to know that. But in a city like Memphis, where it seems like they're trying to suppress our young people into not believing in themselves and thinking for self, because at Putt Putt, I saw young people thinking for self.
And at Putt Putt, what you saw was critical thinking children.
Boom.
They thought through a situation. They knew to be safe enough. Oh, I'm gonna throw these old popcorn. They thought for themselves. They knew because what they saw was what was going on across the country. They saw, when there's an injustice, we're gonna stand up. You know, and so that's pretty much what you saw. People, young children and young adults, critically thinking for themselves. They don't have to be Einsteins to critically think for
Not
themselves.
at all.
But that's what they don't want. That's what they don't. They don't want them thinking for themselves. That's why they want to say, oh, they was bad. They should have waited for their mama. Why? Because you waited for your mammy?
What?
Another story.
And she
right?
makes you bow down.
I don't know why it became a story.
Nah, come on. We like a storyteller.
So
Tell us a story.
I used to play for the band. Westwood High School, one of the baddest bands in the land.
Say
Everybody
it.
knows. Shout out to Westwood.
Shout out, shout out, shout out.
Mr. Richardson.
What they do, Mr. Richardson?
But you know, but there was a time where when there was a time where when discipline from your guardians, like at school, there was a tighter relationship. You know what I'm saying? So there was times we'd be able to get chastised by teachers or coaches, because I played just about every sport: basketball, track, football, baseball, the band. ROTC. I pretty much tried everything because I had too much energy.
Boom.
You know, so I did a lot. And so there was a particular time where we were practicing for a field show. So I played percussion. I was on upright tenor drum at the time. And so the person who was playing the snare drum at the time kept messing up. He wasn't even supposed to be on snare, but he was filling in for somebody and he kept messing up. And so Mr. Richardson came down, and Mr. Richardson always was tight about percussion. Like he had this disposition out there that he hated percussion session, but he really didn't. He just knew he couldn't give us like the glory, that way we can stay sharp and tight. And so again, this particular person messing up, and so Rick, you know, again, he's like a father figure to the band. You know, he loved children. Like he who saved Westwood at a time when they wanted to close Westwood. If it wasn't for that band, they'd have probably, in the academics, they'd have been shut Westwood down. And so Rick come down and he warned everybody, hey man, I don't want to hear no more snare drums when we cut this show. So it's second time, my dude did it again. He stopped. All you hear is cap. This one last snare. We like, oh shit, because Mr. Richard was, you know, synonymous with like, to the church, to Mount Vernon Church. He'd make us run from Westwood High School to Mount Vernon Church. I'm talking about would kill your legs. You'd be like Jello getting back to you know, strap.
Work out.
Well, he'll work you out, but that was the discipline we had. Like that's why we was able to go like the Rose Bowl parade. Like, you know, dude instilled a lot of discipline. But this particular time, Mr. Richard come down with his hat, hitting instruments. No, but he fuck around, instead of hitting my strap, hitting my because I'm upright tenor drum. Instead of hitting my what's name, he hit my shoulder. I'm a young nigga, I'm with the shit, young already. You know what I'm saying? So
Ready.
what the fuck you hit me for? So I strapped down ready to fight this grown man. You know, at the time, somebody get Keedran from out the gym. You know what I'm saying? So they get me out the gym and I go to the house, right? My mama was always in tune with, like, she could just look at me and tell something was wrong. And I actually didn't want to say something because mama, you know, we born right beside me, but we with the shit. So I go in my room, put my stuff up, come back, sit on the couch, look at me, she's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. She's like, nah, what's wrong with you? And I said, man, Miss Richardson hit me with a hat. You know what I'm saying? She was like, what? Oh, let's go.
Ready.
Mom gonna grab this strap and go straight up back to the school. You know what I'm saying? So I get the fact of waiting, but that was both there for me. I was ready to fight then because I'm like, I judged I was wrong. I don't have to wait for my mama to get my lick back. That's abuse. I only get what my mama started with me in the 6th grade. And she realized, oh shit, what was This shit out. This old fashioned. My mama, literally, my last whooping from my mama was in the 6th grade.
Boom.
After cursing out the principal, Miss Bourne. Westwood Elementary. That's another story. And so, you know, for me, I'm like, that's abuse. Although he wasn't intentionally trying to do it. I'm young. You know what I'm saying? So anything you do to a young person, it seems intentional. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're not aware of your emotions and how that drives you. So. Yeah, mama go right back up there and have a nice conversation with Miss Richardson. Next day, folks like, man, your mama got Miss Richardson scared. but again, like I said, you know, even then, I was trying to handle my own business before I go get my mama. So I don't, not what they did. They thought for themselves in that time. I'm still gonna go tell my mama. after this. But I'm gonna have a mind first, and then we'll deal with the rest later. So
I respect the kids for that though. Honestly, they handle business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think more kids should handle business because they should handle business.
Yeah.
And because, man, I'm excited about what's about to take place. PDT in this thing. I'm excited.
PDT
In this hole. In this hole.
Hey.
Double side shoulder.
Always in this thing. But we finna play a little bit more
I done
music.
named Martin
But
Luther King III.
look out, right here.
I'm honored.
For real revolutionary in this thing. But we finna play some more music. But we gonna come back with our guests. We're gonna talk about the check-in. We're gonna talk more about what we can do to help empower our youth, and what we can bring to the city of Memphis to make it great. And by making it great, I feel like we need to make it a space for our young people to think for themselves and to be creative and to make money. I'm a like 901 kidpreneur. I'm about young people bringing what they need to bring to the marketplace and us supporting them just like with black-owned businesses. But we've been playing a little music, but I'm finna tell you, little girl was like, she had to been like, I bet you won't. She had to been like, I bet you won't. This thing.
I bet you won't. We need to get her and find designers to do some shit.
Hey!
She was like, I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Hey!